Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Alex from Madagascar. I'm not going to lie to you, this is a challenging pattern, a challenging tutorial, but I'll do my best to keep things clear for you. For this pattern, you're going to need a hook and holding hook, your loom in the offset configuration, and we're going to be using, these are the closest shades I found, black, gold, clear, dark brown, and pink. If you have other colors that you in your collection that you feel are closer, like a cream, go for it. Let me know how it goes. And I think we're just going to dive right into this. Oh, and the eyes. For the eyes, I'm using a couple of little small size pony beads, and the pupils are drawn on with a black Sharpie. If you want to use white bands or white and black or another kind of bead, that's fine too. Okay, so let's begin with our legs. We'll start with the easiest thing here. And for the legs, we need 2 gold bands wrapped twice. And we're going to put that onto 2 more gold bands. Replace, even it out onto the next 2. Onto a doubled over single, so they're all in the same color. And as always, if you want to adjust the lengths of anything, feel free to make your chains longer or shorter, tighter or looser. And then we need another 2. Another 2. And this time we're going to take a single gold, put it on the end of the hook, wrap 1, 2, 3 times, pull the first part of that first piece over so that the wrapped band sits in the middle. And then we're going to put this onto 3 bands. Let me put that middle one in to make it not as dramatic a change between the 2 and then this 3. Slide them on, try and keep them in order if you can. Replace. And this can go onto a holding hook or it can stay on the hook it's on right now. Okay, let's make our second leg the same way. I'll try and go a little bit faster or a little bit slower on the doubled over. I think I went through that quickly. 2 together, wrap once, 2, or 3 times. I think we'll do 3 times. Put it onto 2 sets of double bands. So that's 2 together. Replace. 2 together. Replace. I'll show you that doubled over single a little bit slower now. Stretch it, twist it, put it back over the way you would a ponytail holding elastic. Put it on the end, slide it through. And then we had 2 sets of 2 together. It's 1 and 2. Followed by a doubled over single. A wrapped band in the middle. We did our doubled over already. 1, 2, 3. Bring that first piece over so the wrapped one sits in the middle, and then this goes on to 3. Now, something I'm in the practice of always doing is when I do have a leg or a limb or an arm that I've made too, I like to line them up and make sure that they are the same length. And that tells me that I haven't missed a row or that I don't have any extra. You can leave these where they are or put them onto a separate holding hook. And we're going to go into the hands, which is where things start to get a little bit tricky. And no, I'm going to leave it where it is. Okay, so for this we're going to take a single brown for the paw. And if this is too crazy hard, You can just take some gold bands, wrap them on the hook, and pull them onto a couple double bands. I was trying to get the fingers on the pads of the paw. Brown, wrap 1, 2, 3 times. And this is going to go onto a doubled over single gold. And we're going to go to the loom, and I'll go to the bottom. Let me put this down and then I'll show you what I've done. I'm going to go count up 3 pegs from the bottom, and this will go on to the 3rd peg from the bottom and the 2nd peg from the bottom. And I'll do this again on the other side. A single brown, wrap nice and tight. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Onto a doubled over single gold. And I'm going to warn you now, if you have a weaker loom, prone to separating, this will be a difficult project, and you might want to do double bands instead of doubled over bands in some of these parts, or even a single. It might come out a little bit lumpier, but if it's going to save you some frustration and you don't have your heart set on an identical pattern or identical outcome here, then make things easy. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Wrap 3 times, put onto a doubled over single. Now this is going to come from the 2nd peg from the bottom to the bottommost peg in the center, and 1 more from the other side. 3 times. If you want to do 4, that's okay. If you only want to do 2, that's okay. It'll pop out a little more, but 3 is probably a good number. And there. We want this to be nice and snug, so a doubled over single gold will come across those 2nd pegs up from the bottom of the loom. And the last thing on this section is to do a cap band on the bottom center. So take a single gold, put it on top, twist, put it back over, twist, put it back over. So I've got 3 loops there. And we're going to loop this up. So first thing I'm going to do, because these are all of the same color, I'm going to try and push them down a little. Hook comes under that cap band, and I'm grabbing the next 2, or the next doubled single, and bringing it to the left. Reach back under those 3 loops of the cap band and bring the next band to the right. Let's go on the side. I'm reaching under all the bands on the side closest to me and taking the only 2 loops on the bottom and bringing them forward. And the same on the other side here. As always, if you need to turn your loom to the side or use your hook or finger to pull the bands out or down or into better view, you can. I'm going to hold on to the top bands and loosen up the rest, because if I just pull this off, something's going to snap. And then we'll put the hook through the bands on the right and then down through the bands on the left. And let's adjust this. Okay. Next part, is that there? If you want the brown padded part on the inside of the paw, then what you'll do now is take a single brown, wrap it on the hook 1, 2, 3 times. And we're going to slide it under the first set of gold. This is one of the harder parts, so be patient with it. You might even find you want to use your hook if you don't have some solid nails right now. I'm going to try turning this sideways, see if that makes it easier. There we go. And I want to move about half of these under the middle gold so that it sits somewhat evenly. I think we've got just 2 loops in the middle, so it shouldn't be as hard to transfer over. And then the next challenge, of course, will be getting this all onto our next bands. Same order. Okay. There we go. You could even try and get these all right into the middle, which I think is what I'm going to try and do. Let's bring those back under this one, and under this one I'm aiming to get 3 loops on either side of those brown so that they are sitting pretty centrally. Okay, and there we go. It's a toaster oven. So I've slid it under the first 3 loops and it's to the left still of the last 3 loops. Now we can make our little finger at the end. Take a brown, wrap it on the hook 1, 2, 3 times and put onto a doubled over single gold. And now we're going to take 2 golds, put them on the end and try and slide everything through in order. It occurs to me if you want to make things easier the next time around, you could probably wrap that brown in as you're doing this transfer once you've got 3 of the gold off. I'm probably just going to do it the same way though, but that's something you can try on the next paw if you like. Okay, so we need 2 gold now, I believe. Let me make sure I got my pattern right here. Double gold, brown in the middle, 1, 2 more gold, and then 1 gold in the middle. So take a single gold, wrap it on the end of the hook 1, 2, 3 times, and slide it under the first set so that it's sitting in between both sides. And then we need a doubled over single gold. And then this next part's quite a bit easier. We're just going to do a chain of 7 sets of double or 2 bands, and that will be for the arms. I can start on the second paw. So here we go. It's 2. And a second set of 2. 3. 4th set, 5, 6, and 7. Once more, if you want to put this on a separate hook, you can, or you can leave it right where it is. See if I can straighten this out a little bit more. And let's do our other paw, our other arm. Okay, back to the hook. Let's take a single brown. We'll go a little faster this time. Wrap 1, 2, 3 times. Put onto a doubled over single gold. This will come from the second peg from the bottom to the 3rd peg from the bottom, or vice versa if you feel like you're working the wrong direction there. Repeat on the other side. 3 wraps, doubled over single. And 2 more of these coming down diagonally this time. I'll hold up the loom for you in just a minute so you can see what I've got here. Okay. Doubled over single to stretch across from the second peg from the bottom to the second peg on the opposite side, and a cap band. 1, 2 twists, so you get 3 loops. We're going to reach in again. Let me separate these a little bit better. Reach under the cap, make sure you're holding it, it's not popping off, and we want to get the 2 loops that go back to the left side. We seem to have lost one of them. Okay. If you want or need to pause at any time because you're at one of these harder to see parts, go for it. Sometimes it takes me a long time to get. go up on either side, bottom 2 loops. I won't say bottom 2 bands because it's a single band doubled over, but the bottom 2 loops that you see. And release some of the tension. And then you're going to put the hook down through the top on the one side, the top on the other side, pop it off. And from here we had 2 gold bands. No, we didn't. We had our brown. That's the part I keep forgetting here. Okay, this was the part where we fit that in the middle. So wrap 1, 2, 3 times. And again, I'll say if you want to squeeze it in when you're in the process of transferring, you might find that's easier to do. If you're really struggling, you can skip the step, or you can use a gold or whatever's easiest, right? I'm going to use a hook here, although I feel like this hook's going to be almost bulkier than using my fingers. So I'm going to bring it under the first 2. Oops, almost lost those. And then under the next 1 or 2. So that it's sitting above in the middle. And there we go. Okay, now we've got a single brown wrapped 1, 2, 3 onto a doubled over single gold. And then this will all go onto 2 gold bands, and we're going to try and keep it in order as best we can. As I said, if you've really struggled with the brown, you could pause here and then, I guess, pop it off, put a wrapped on brown, and then replace. I feel like one might be more likely to lose the bands doing that, but not as much picking at bands. And I'm going to close it, get a single gold, wrap it 1, 2, 3 times, bring it to the middle, and then we've got our doubled over single gold. So I know we've got a lot of doubled overs, tight bands in this, and we're just getting started. As I said, this is one of my harder projects, but I think he looks really cute in the end, so I'm all for the detail work and the grunt work here. And the easy part on the arms, 7 sets of double bands. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And as I sometimes like to say, remember, this is my second time doing this, so I've already done these tricky parts at least once before. You've got all of my sympathy and empathy on the tight spots. And again, if you have any concerns, you can put your arms together, make sure that they line up lengthwise, be sure you've got the right length. Next part is the tail. This one is not so bad. We've got 3 brown. Wrap them on the hook 1, 2, or 3 times. And this is going to go on to 3 more brown bands. Just slide them right through. And then we've got a chain of, oh, now we have another 3. And then we have a chain of doubled over singles. So I'll show you what the finished tail looks like. That way you see the finished product in case you want to make any changes. And then we're going to need 13 doubled over singles. I'm going to count them out now, just because I feel like I've got a little bit of a fuzzy brain span. I don't want to lose count. It's 10, 12, 13. You can always do this. I've seen there are some videos where this is always done. And it's a good practice if you want to save your concentration for the looping itself. So a total of 13, and I'm just taking a single, stretch, twist, double it over, put it back on, slide it through, replace. Again, if you want to make it longer or shorter, you can. If you need to pause, take your time with this, you can. And if you're more comfortable doing this on the loom, you can always do it that way as well. here, and then we'll be heading over to the loom, which is kind of exciting because it tells me we're nearing the, I guess, about the halfway point on this. Or at least once we get the body loomed up, we'll be past halfway, I'd say. Okay, onto the loom. Again, I'm using this clear color for the belly. If you have a skin tone or white or light yellow, you can certainly play around with those. I'm working with what I got, so this seemed the best fit for me from my selection here. I'm going to start with 2 clear or belly color, come down top center to the second center, and we'll come down once to either side with 2 clear from the second center to the second side. Repeat on the other side, and let me do a count here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 sets of double clear bands down on either side, starting at that second peg down. So second to third, third to fourth, fourth to fifth. And we should end up, I'll tell you where in just a minute once I get there. This will take us to the 8th peg down from the top. And I'll do the same on the opposite side. I'm not doing the center just yet because I want to make sure we get our tail in at the right place. Okay, we're going to put 5 sets down on the middle, starting at the second peg from the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the next one, we're going to take 2 bands and slide the tail on. And these will go from the 7th peg down to the 8th peg down, I think that is. I'm just going to tuck the tail out to the side there. And we're going to need 2 more clear bands from the 8th peg to the 9th peg. So that's going to sit just under the, I wonder if I can zoom this up more. That's as far as it goes. So it's going to sit just under where the other sides ended. And from here we're going to take 2 gold. No, we're going to do our arms first. Arms are going to go onto the second peg down from the top. If you have concerns about which way your thumbs are pointing, you can switch sides or turn the piece to the opposite side. So this one I want to be facing inwards. So I can either take it off the loom, take it off the hook and put my hook back through, or I can just slide it on from the bottom to the top. And if you're not concerned, it does look pretty comparable either which way, so you can leave it as is if you like. Now we have easy access to our legs if you had them on the same hook as I did. I'm going to take 2 gold, slide my first leg on, and this will come from the 8th peg down on the side to the 9th peg down. I should double check that. 9th peg down in the center. And next to slide the other leg, we'll do the same thing for the other side. And make sure it's on all the way. I'm going to put a gold cap band on the bottom's 9th center peg over the legs. Twist once and twice, and now we've got some cap bands to do and the side extension. The side extension is going to give us these pieces here. And when I was finished, I wasn't entirely happy with how long the center body was, but I think I'm happy enough to leave it. If you want to make your body longer or your side extensions shorter, you can definitely play around with that. For our triangle bands, folding bands, I'm going to take a single clear, bring it across the 3rd pegs down, one more across the 4th pegs down, and one more across the 5th pegs down. And what I wanted on mine was a tighter lower body. You're not going to see this little brown piece either, by the way. That's a mistake I made. We're going to fix up right away. If you want this to be less tight at the bottom, you can use singles. If you do want the tension, you can follow me and use a doubled over single across the, I guess those are 6th bands down, and then over the next set, and over the next set. So this part, these doubled overs here are optional. It will taper the body in a bit. And for the side extensions, both sides are the same, just the colors are different. And I did a clear band, wrapped once and twice, and then on one side I used golds and 4 sets of 2, 4 sets of double bands. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to turn this so that the right side is facing me. And this band will go onto the peg above the peg with the leg. So this is your 7th side peg. So I'm taking my chain, I'm stretching it out so I can see the little circle at the bottom. Popping this on, and then I'm going to transfer the bands from the hook onto the piece that has the arms. That's the second one down. I'm not getting these all, I want to make sure they're all on. There. And I'm just flipping this over for a minute. I'm going to take one piece out of each of these chains and link it up over each of those side pegs between the 2 places we've secured it. This keeps it nice and tight to the body. 2, 3, 4, I think there should be 5 there. 1, 2, 3, there should be 5. Oh well, I think we'll be okay with the 4. Oh, I definitely see 5. My mistake. If you're okay with this, you can leave it. If not, then I'm going to add one more set of double bands here. Oh, I did say 5, and then I put on 4. That's weird. Okay. And replace. Like I said, it's not a big fix, but if you're getting frustrated already, just leave it. It probably won't be the ruination of this project. I want all my 5 though, because like I said, I like the way it came out the first time, so I'll stick to it. Other side, single clear, wrapped once and twice, and get out some more of these browns. 5 sets of double browns. I think that's even what I said before, and then I put on the wrong number. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And good news is we are just about ready to loop up the body. I can't do it from this side, I'm going to reach over. Clear will go onto that 5th peg down above the legs. 6th peg, reach the rest from the hook onto that 2nd peg down where the arm is. Make sure they're all on, and grab one from each set to pop over the pegs that are in between. And the last one. Okay, we are all set to loop up the body. Very excited. And we have essentially one hard part in the looping for the body, which is right here. Because there are many layers of gold, what we have to do is push back the wrapped ones. Make sure we're only pushing back the wrapped ones. So I'm gonna take the right side, pull it out a little bit. I'm even gonna bring these bands the leg bands under so that I cannot possibly miss them. Now I'm going to reach, I want my wrapped one to be one tighter here. It feels a little loose. I think one of the things popped off. 3 times. Okay. So now we reach under the cap band and get those 2, which I've put over a nearby peg so that I can't possibly miss them, and bring them over to the side. And now I'm going to reach back under that cap band for the next 2 colors, and because my clear is so pale, it's hard to see it in there, and it's trying to get wrapped up with the gold. Let's bring those down, and I'm going to do the same thing. Because I know which bands I want, I'm going to bring them under. I'm reaching for the ones that are coming out of the side, pulling them off to the side. Now I can go under the cap band, over those clear, carefully get the 2 gold, and bring them over to the side. And really take your time with this part. It is, like I said, the hardest part of the body loop in here. Reach under your gold one more time for the 2 clear and bring them up forward. Now the rest of this is pretty easy, I think. We just have to loop up this bottom row of clear. So I'm going to pull it to the side for a minute, push my hook in with the back part or the open part facing up, grab the clear, bring it around and forward. Press it down all the way, and we'll continue to loop up that same way. If you feel your loom is getting a little bit tight, then what you can do as you loop sections up is you can release some of the lower bands, and I'll show you what that looks like once I've got a little bit more done here. When we get to the upper part, we're going to take the 2 bands that are coming diagonally from the middle, reach through everything else, take those bottom 2, and I got one, and the other one, and bring those to the second middle. Okay, I'm gonna loop up I'll loop up in the middle. So let's go to that 7/8 peg down, loop up once, loop up twice, and I'll stop just before I get to the top. So I'll do this until I get to the 3rd peg, just because I'd like to have the center sitting on the top there. And now the last side, reach in for the bottom 2 clear, turn your loom around if you need to, continue to loop up. So at this point, don't lose track of where you are, but if you feel things are tight, you can start releasing things on the right side and at the bottom middle. And pick up where you left off if you have pause there, and keep going straight. That's something you want to be careful that if you do stop in the middle of looping, that you pick up where you left off and you don't accidentally skip a section, because that's when things will unravel if there is a missing link in your chain, right? And from the side back to the center, bottom 2. And I'm going to loosen this up a little bit more without releasing any of the pegs that haven't been looped onto, but I know my bottom section's done here. And now I'm going to come back to the center and loop up from the 3rd peg to the 2nd peg, and then last time, bottom 2. And I've got more than 2 there, so I'm going to do that. Check that again. And up. Carefully hold on to the bands in your top center, and you can take the rest of the bands off. And do this carefully. As I said, there's a lot of tension on your loom right now. And once most of this is released, you can put your hook through the bands on the top center peg, pop them off, and take the rest of your Alex line off. Okay, my tail's sticking through there. Let's pop the tail back. Now, one thing that I noticed with the legs, just before we put this to the side, is we've got a bit of a knot on the front. So I think what I did is I took the 2 loops at the side, and I slid the leg through. and that makes it sit a little bit more forward, a little bit more evenly. The same on the other side. There are a couple of diagonal gold bands and I just popped those over. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's put it to the side and we're gonna come back to the loom and let's do our ears next. Now what I did originally, which I'll do again, is, let's first put this onto a different hook so I can have my favorite hook here. So this is done on one part on the loom. This is done on one part on the loom. This is one part and this is one part, and then they all come together at the top. So what I've done, and I think we'll do it again this way, is I'll do most of my loom work at the bottom, and we'll, as we make the face off top, and then we'll move pieces as we make them. So the first thing is for the ears, we're going to need black and gold, and this is going to the bottom of your loom. Take a single black, double it over, put it from the third peg from the bottom to the second peg from the bottom. Repeat on the other side. And once inwards. And one more doubled over single going inwards. And, oh, I did that in the wrong order. Okay, hold on. Let's bring those blacks down just for a minute. And gold. Doubled over single from third peg to the second peg and one more below. We want this underneath, and then we'll put those blocks back on top. And we're going to have a doubled over gold single holding bands. Forming a little triangle here. And lastly, we'll put a black cap band on the bottom. 1, 2, 3 times. And we're going to loop this up. So I want to go under the cap band and take the 2 bands that are coming from the left. Sorry, the doubled over single, so the 2 loops. And let's loop that up once. Shoot. Band broke. Actually, it's not bad I've come this far in the project without a band breaking. I shouldn't be complaining. Either way, let's try that again. And other side, reach in for the next doubled over black. Bring it to the further side and loop up your doubled over black once. And then go back into the bottom center, loop up that doubled over gold, and one more time. I'm going to release the bottom center and the 2 lower side pieces on those second pegs from the bottom. So this is easier to take off, and then my hook will go through the black, through the center gold, and then down again through the black, which I totally missed there. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to see if I can grab it before it's gone. Yay. Okay, turn it to the side where the gold is in the middle. You'll see one side will probably have a little bit popping out somewhere. And this is going to go onto, we want double, which color do we have here? This color. We want the color you're going to use for the mane that you use for the paws and the tail, that brown. Take 2. Pop them through carefully. It doesn't want to go. And place it on the loom so that the side you want for the front is facing forward. This is going on the top center and the top side, or to the top side. Make the other ear same way. Back to the bottom of the loom, doubled over single. Doubled over single. And this time I'm remembering we're going to do those gold in the middle first, or next rather. And let's get another black, double it over, come down diagonally. Last doubled over black here. A doubled over gold. Where did my gold go? Over here. Bring it across as a triangle band. And black cap band on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. And let's loop it up. Reach into the cap band, get your doubled over. They all want to come with me. I only want these top 2 loops. Over to the side closest to you. Loop up that's on the side. Go back in for the next 2. And I'm going to use my hook to separate them first because they're overlapping again. And loop up. And you know, the comfort to, and loop up twice here. The comfort to me is that after this I'll have, I think 4 or 5 of my Madagascar set done, and that leaves hippo, penguin, giraffe, although I don't have colors to do any of those right now, but I'm hoping to get some soon. And 2 brown, slide through. There we go. I don't know about you, but I seem to have better concentration and better success when I'm talking or distracted. So if I'm talking a lot, it's probably, I feel like I'm missing a section on here. Ooh, well, on my pattern here. But I find if I'm watching a movie or, you know, doing something else, listening to music while I do my looming, it seems to make things go a little more smoothly. That's just me though. Okay, 3 sets of double gold followed by 2 sets of double clear, it looks like here. I'll show you what I did. I normally try and get a picture of each layer, but you can see here I only have like the finished, all the pieces on part. So I'm sort of half guessing about what I had underneath, but I've got a pretty good feeling. Let me put a couple more of these on and then I'll tell you what I'm doing here. One, 2, and clear. That shouldn't end so much further down, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, there. Okay, that looks right. So we've got 3 sets of double gold in the middle, 2 on either side, and then a set of clear on each row. This is sort of the outline for the face. We're going to take 2 clear from the 4th side to the 5th center. Repeat on the other side. And I'm even ready to put the eyes on. So I'll show you really, really quickly if you're using, I'll show you 2 ways to do the eyes. And then I'll put them on the way I'm going to. So if you want to just use bands, take your white, wrap about 3 or 4 times. And those can be your eyes, and those can go onto a single or doubled over gold. I think that's a single gold. Alternately, you can start your eyes like this, and then take a black, wrap it on one side, wrap it on the other. I'll do that a little more slowly. So put a black over, wrap it again, and then wrap it closer, and then wrap it closer. So your eye can be like this. And the other thing is if you've got beads, really any kind of white beads will do. You can use a Sharpie marker and draw on the pupils, and use your hook or your fingers or a piece of floss to transfer them. These ones have pupils drawn on already. If you are doing your pupils though, you can definitely leave it till after everything's on the body and off the hook. Okay, I'm going to put these onto a single. And whatever kind of eyes you are making, it will go onto a gold, and that gold will go from the second down to the second down. and we'll put the hook between and bring one side of that band over the second peg down. It's not so important to see the pupils right now, and you don't have to have them drawn on right now. I'm just going to turn it around so you can see it a little more clearly, I hope. And I'm going to put a single gold band across the third pegs down for now. And we'll do a single clear across the bottom section of the fourth pegs. Alright, now bear with me, I'm going to try and do this next part slowly to make sure that we get everything. For the bottom part of the jaw of the mouth, I'm going to come to the bottom of the loom, take a clear, wrap it, double it over, second to third peg from the bottom, same on the other side, and I'm going to take a pink, double it over, second peg from the bottom to the first peg from the bottom, and single doubled over clear, bring it down diagonally, bottom center to the second up from the bottom on the side, repeat. I'll hold this up in just a second for you. And then we need a doubled over single. Bring it across from the second peg from the bottom to the second peg from the bottom, and as always a cap band on that bottom center. And we only have to do this piece once, so it's not as bad as the loop, wrapping it 3 times there. It's not as bad as the pause, right? Okay, so we need to kind of separate these. I'm going to be looping up from the left side first, so I'm going to sort of pull that to the side and reach my hook under the holding bands and get those doubled over loop. Carefully bring it around and to the side, the closer side there. We can loop up once, push back the holding band, grab the bottom band, bring it forward, reach back in the middle for the next 2 clear, and you can see I kind of scooped it around because that's where I saw it coming out there. Loop up on the side and reach under for the pink, loop it up. Carefully take off that bottom center, the side, and reach your hook through the far ones. I'm going to put my finger on the pink so it doesn't pop off. Through the pink in the middle, and then through the clear. Okay, so this is going to be like our little tongue piece, and I'm going to go to, oops, where'd it go? Let's go back to the picture of the face and see how this was installed. I think, what did we do here? Okay, I'm going to take the little loop that's under at the bottom of this chin piece and put it onto the 5th peg down in the center. And then we're going to take the clear that's on one side of the pink and put it onto the 4th side peg. Very carefully. This is going to get a little bit thick here. Sorry for that. That's how it's got to be. And the next ones on towards the end of my hook are the pink. Those are going to go onto the center 4th. And once that's secure, the last ones will go across to the 4th down on the opposite side. Okay, and that looks like it's all secure. So now we can make the nose piece. And for this one we need gold. We're going to have a doubled over gold and count up to the 4th peg from the bottom, reach it to the 3rd peg from the bottom. Doubled over single block underneath that, and then a doubled over, oh, you know what, I think that was 2. That was 2. We're actually going to put 2 golds there, not a doubled over single, because we do want the nose to be a little bit thicker. 1 more gold, so 2 gold. It's hard to tell sometimes from the picture. You can see there, you have to look really closely to see that's double instead of doubled over. And I've got some things in notes and other things I'm trying to rely on my memory because this is only yesterday I was making this. So you have to, I hope you'll be patient with me while I sort out the details. This had a lot of different parts. Doubled over single clear. And that will go to the bottom. And now we're going to come down twice with doubled over single clears, starting at the 4th peg from the bottom on one side. One doubled over single, 2 doubled over singles. Now we're sitting at that 2nd peg from the bottom. And the reason that I'm starting here is because I want it to all come together when we get to that bottom middle and not go any longer. We'll do the same on the other side. And we need doubled over singles to come down and in diagonally. Other side. And cap band. We'll need some holding bands, but cap band 2, 3, 4. We'll do that first, make sure that's on. And it looks like I only used one cap band or one holding band here. It's going to be a single stretched in a diamond form, 2nd and 3rd from the bottom in the center, 3rd from the bottom on the sides. If you want to double it over, that'll make it tighter. I don't think we need to double it over this time. Okay, let's loop this up. So we have to go through that bottom center and get the, I'm looking at the order here, the band that's coming from the side closest to me again. I don't deliberately start and end on the same side each time. If I do it all, it's just unconscious habit here. Carefully bring that over to the side, and I'm going to loop up twice on that side. Bottom band, and it'll come as 2 loops. Go back in that bottom center, and get the next 2 to the right side, and loop up once and twice. I don't know about you, but I feel my band is ready to pop here, or my loom is ready to pop here. Come back in for the last 2, which I think broke. Yep. No bother. I'll show you my band replacement strategy here. Well, I can pull that out after. So when I do have a band break, instead of redoing everything, take a single, double it over, hold it on my fingers, and I'm gonna catch it through that loop and then bring it back over. Which takes a little bit of practice to get the feel for, but I put it onto that peg, kept some tension, pulled it through. Now I'm definitely going to take this bottom one off because it's ready, like I said, to explode here. And go in for the 2 black, loop up. I'm going to loosen a little bit more. And last 2 gold, loosen, loosen, loosen. And now hook goes through the top, the center, and the top on the other side. Careful, careful, careful. My broken band is out of the way now. We've got our nose piece. Okay, this is looking good. Let me find a picture of my face again. My face. And we're going to do the same thing as with the bottom part, the jaw, except we're going to put onto the 3rd peg, center, 3rd, and 3rd. So clears will go onto the first clears towards the inner hook are going to go carefully onto the 3rd peg down on the side. Next ones will go onto, the golds will go onto that center. And I want to make sure I get them all. And last ones, the last clears will go to the other side. Okay, we should have one more piece and one more piece to do, and then we'll put on our body and we can move this up. And I'm really excited because we're getting so close. We're doing good. We're doing good. Home stretch here. The last part is for the face, and I thought I could add the side chain and then weave on an extra piece or weave it all on after. And then I thought this is even easier. We're going to go up to the, I think it's the, hold on, I better get our numbers right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 pegs up from the bottom, so 1 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are going to start at the 6th peg down and 2 brown bands. So this is starting 2 pegs under where the face ended. Another 2 brown bands and 2, and come right to the bottom of the loom. And we're basically going to make a continuous chain that's going to reach all the way around. And then from there it's pretty easy to attach actually. And I'll stop before you get to that bottommost peg. Other side, repeat. I want to double check that number again. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I thought we needed one more. Okay, we need one more set right at the top there. Should be starting this one higher. And if you're concerned about doing that, then just add it on the bottom if you're worried about adding to the chain at the top. You can loop down and around instead of up. Either way, we need 7 sets of double bands on each side. There is a method to my madness, don't you be worried. And let's come down diagonally. 2 and 2 and cap band. 1, 2, 3, and reach under the cap band, get the top 2, bring them to the left, get the next 2, bring them to the right, and we're going to loop up either side of the full chain, or till we have a full chain here. Okay, hook through on either side at the top, remove. There is our main. We're going to take the top ones and put them onto the top center. And now this part, I almost think this part is kind of fun. We need to stretch it, and as we stretch it around, we're going to be stretching it all the way around. Turn it. I wonder if this way I'll be able to better way to see it. I'm gonna just release the hook there for a minute. So now we stretch it and we take one piece, put it over. Stretch it down, take one piece, pop it over. So this is going to be like a side extension. One piece, pop it over. This is hard to do with this hook, but you get the idea. One piece, pop it over. You don't have to change hooks. I'm just doing this because I think it'll be easier for you to see what I'm doing. Once you get to that bottom there, we're gonna bring the hook around. Oops, that's my chain there. And carefully reach it all the way around and put it on top on the other side. Okay, so maybe it's not that much fun. It's a little fun. And one part of the next chain, and one part of the next chain, and one part of the next chain, and one part of the next chain. And that bottom part can kind of just sit there. Before it sits there, let's pop it over for just a minute and put our body on. And we'd like the front part to face up. And I have to apologize, this next part coming up is maybe the trickiest one, just maybe the trickiest one. I'm going to put this main part down all the way out of the way. You don't have to, but it will probably help. And stretch the body out a little bit. And we need to get, let's see what order we have things in here. Okay, bottom, no, we're gonna leave those there. Sorry, I'm just gonna need a minute to get the order right here. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So we want to get under the extension with the mouth and under the body, and then the next two are going to go to the side. And then we're going to reach under again, and we're going to go for these two. I think I'm even going to hold them out to the side so I can see them better. If you need to, take them over one at a time, which is what it looks like I'm going to be doing here. If you need to, scoop it around from the side, which is also a method I'm going to do. But definitely take your time to make sure you've got the right ones. And then we need to get the bottom two. So I'm trying to press it down to make sure I can see which ones are right here. And frankly, I don't have an easy way to do this, except, like I said, turn it to the side, pull them out of the way so that you can find the ones with the tension on them. Yay! Okay, I'm going to loop up the side. And we want to push back everything but the bottom two. Very careful bringing them over. And we want the bottom two gold. Push back, take the bottom two gold. And we've got bottom two gold again. And then you can reach through to the bottom two brown and loop those to the top center. Actually, I'm going to leave those for last so that this gold comes up and is out of the way. And other side. Turn the loom to the side if you need to. Get the bottom two clear and loop them forward. Get your bottom two golds. Loop them forward. Next two gold. This one. And two. And now I'm going to loop up the middle, and I think what I'll do is I'm going to take this clear off for a minute and take the pink off for a minute, and I want to bring that clear under the pink. If that sounds too hard, it's okay, you can skip that part. I just want to have that pink showing more on the top. And trying to remember, I feel like I did something a little different here, but we'll see in a minute. Let's lift the golds. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, we're gonna carefully lift off the gold with the nose piece and bring it all under. Reach in for the gold, loop it forward. And carefully replace. Again, the goal is to get the brown on top, so I pulled that. I'm not sure how well you can see that. I pulled this off and tucked this whole piece under the fourth peg, and then I looped up the fourth peg, and then I brought that back over and back on top. If you're really struggling, leave it where it is and just loop forward, or maybe there's another strategy that will work better for you. Loop up the next two, loop up the next two, and then we're going to come in from the side, top sides with our brown. Where'd the other one go? It's hiding there. It's one. Here's two. Oh. There's two. Kind of got half looped over already. Push that down a little bit, and one more time. Okay, so I'm going to say this one more time just because I'm not sure, hopefully you could see it when I did this. This third peg, I took the nose piece with the gold off. I pulled that and this clear back under the peg, looped up the gold and then replaced to keep looping. Okay. We can release some of the tension here, which I'm going to do because if I just put my hook in and pop this out, it's going to be stretching and straining some things. Hold on to the bands on the top center peg though for sure. And let's take one or two more off. And now I'll grab one or two brown bands to match your mane. Put them on your, I'll just do one this time. I'll put it on a couple of the fingers of your left hand. Put your hook through all of the bands on the top center peg, and you want to make sure you get really through all of them. So you don't want to see any gaps there or anything on the other side of your hook. I'm actually going to turn this around, make sure I can see a clear hole through. There are a lot there, and again, if you want to use two bands to make this extra secure, it's not a bad idea. Put the band on the end of your hook and put some tension. Carefully slide it up and through, and you'll want to kind of keep the open part faced away from you until you get to the top, and then open part will face up. Take the further side, bring it over the top of the hook, and we're going to hold on to this tight. You can put it on a C-clip or a holding hook if you want to. And we'll take the rest of our Alex the Lion off. Okay, pop that tongue through. Put your pupils on your eyes, or turn your eyes around if they have pupils already. And we're going to go to the, I feel like my tongue is less pronounced here. If you want even to put an extra pink band in, you could. And I'm going to turn to the back, put my hook under a couple of bands and slide that securing band through. And we'll slip that through. Let's put that onto the C-clip. And I'll pop that under another nearby band. Okay, for the tail, you can have a little control on where it goes if you want by going to the back, and if you go under a couple of bands, make a hole and slide it under, it will come out to the side more. So I'm bringing it through a couple of bands, and that will make it come to the side. Again, I feel like I'm not happy with where my tongue is. My tongue isn't showing so much this time around. I think what I did with the face there changed things. So if you want to have extra tongue showing, I'm going to wrap a pink, put it on doubled over two clear bands, one or two clear bands, and this can be grasped through and towards the back. So as I said, I feel like my tongue didn't come out as pronounced this time, and I want a stuck out tongue. So I'm going to reach through from the back to the front to where I want it to be, and grab on either side and pull it through. That's just if you want the tongue to show more. This can go even onto the same C-clip you have already here, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, those eyes, the nose. I think I changed my mind. I don't want it right on that C-clip. I'm going to put it onto a band and then put the band on, because it's making things a little too tight for my liking now. So I'm putting it onto a nearby band, and then that band can go on and it won't pull the rest of the face down quite so much. Okay, there we go. Now I'll hold up both for you to see. Or put down both for you to see. And I'll try to get going on the rest of my Madagascar crew as soon as I can get some more bands. Anyways, thank you for watching, and check out the rest of my set, some of my other videos. Alright, be sure to subscribe. Thanks.